The purpose of segregation, which is a legal term, was to segregate power, resources, and responsibility. Those three elements. That's what they wanted to segregate. It wasn't about you or me sitting next to a white kid in school. It was about who controls the power, the resources, and the responsibility. Those three elements. And so when you look at whether it's education, business, politics, it was you are not going to have any say in who gets the resources to run a school. I'll use school as an example. You're not going to have any say in who's going to control the school board or the superintendent or even the principal. And you certainly aren't going to have any say, power, resources, and therefore you don't have the responsibility. When you look at Vivian Malone didn't try to enter the University of Alabama because she wanted to go to school with white people. Why did she try to enter? There was a course that wasn't offered at the historically black college. She had to have that course. And they didn't offer it. So the only place they offered it was the University of Alabama. And that's why she went to that school. That's why. Because she needed that course. And so I think what we fail to realize is that it's what do we do with the resources we get? What do we do with the power we get? And then those who have the responsibility, what do you do with that? So it's not about whether you live or work next to a black person. It's resources, power, and responsibility. You can live in Detroit or you can live in St. Louis or let's say East St. Louis. But what good is it if you don't control the politics and the finances of that community? Now people will argue, well, when it was segregated, we had our own banks, we had our own things, but whoa, slow down. Yeah, but you didn't have total control. You had control of what? You had control of a very limited amount. And then here was this big world out here that had control of everything else. So here's let me tell you, there is some degree to, and I always remember something that Benjamin Hooks once said to me. He said, when they start talking about, and this is the approach that I tend to take, when they said they wanted to integrate the libraries when they wanted to integrate the libraries in Memphis, Tennessee, where he was born and grew up. He said his father apparently told him, or someone told him, son, before you integrate the library over here at the white neighborhood, have you read all the books in the black library? So you see, so here's the point. Do we take advantage of what we have? What do we have? Take advantage of that. And at the same time, you can look to acquire more. You can look to acquire power. You can look to acquire resources.